My wife and Owen here actually really surprised me. I came home from work. It's day after Thanksgiving. And I came home from work on the day before Thanksgiving. And my wife and son met me outside and said that they had a surprise for me. It was a late birthday present / early Christmas present, sorry. And an anniversary present. Mine and my wife's anniversary is the day after Christmas. And they said they wanted to give it to me right away, but it was too big to really put anywhere, and it was in the garage. So I opened up the door, and there was something sitting in the middle of the garage, kind of where the Volkswagen's sitting right now. And it was under these same sheets that are over his car right now. And they said, well, you got to go check it out. And I'd actually been eyeballing this for probably about a year now. It actually belonged to a friend of ours. But I always wanted a nice old motorcycle, and I'd been talking about getting a European motorcycle instead of a traditional Japanese motorcycle or an old Harley or anything like that. So I came in the garage, and this is what I found. So this here is a 1974 Norton Commando 850. Belonged to a friend of ours, and I'd talked to her about it for a little while, and Owen and my wife told me that they had planned on this and had this in the works since about the beginning of the school year, right?
Yeah, about 3 months now.
So they did pretty good keeping this a secret from me. But it's a barn find one, so you can kind of see there's a little rust and stuff on the wheels. But everything's all there. The only thing that I've noticed missing so far, as I've been kind of dinking around with it a little bit, is I think it should have a rear view mirror on it right there. And one of the turn signals is missing. But I'll see what I can do. Maybe I'll put some different turn signals on it and get a matching set of 4. And then it looks like must have had something like fell down, and it looks like this fuel cap is kind of pressed in a little bit. I can't really, it's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like maybe something fell on it and hit it there. Yeah, the tank, it smells like varnish in there, and I think this cap was popped open at one point in time and not sealed shut, so the tank looks like it has some rust in it. Some of the fenders do look a little tweaked, but maybe that's something I can pound out and smooth out with a hammer and dolly or something. Some kinks in the fenders, but nothing super detrimental. Looks like that's fork boot kind of came loose there. But yeah, you can smell, Owen just had the fuel cap open on here. This fuel, it just smells like varnish. They said that it did run when they parked it, and it's got 9 tabs from 94 on it. So I'm guessing it's got fuel from 94 in there too. So this is another project that I'm going to be working on over the winter. Hopefully I'll have it running in the spring. Like I said, it's pretty complete. I also think that it has, oh, maybe, I don't know if it's a different carb or what, but it has a little, just an open element air filter. I think it should originally have had like a little box with a fuel filter in the box, but we'll see what we can do here. I was actually thinking about draining the fuel out of it, putting some new fuel in it, and seeing if she pops off, but we'll find out. More to come. I've been tearing into the Norton here a little bit while he's working on that. So I did get, it's pretty nice here. There's a nice little Zeus clip. It kind of pulls out of the way, and this panel pops off. I got the battery pulled out, disconnected. Some nice home wiring going on here that I'll have to fix up later. I did notice the seat latch on this side's missing, and I pulled the battery out. So this thing's been parked since '94. Puts out a whole 0.3 volts of juice. Well, you can tell it's old. Nothing more than a paperweight at this point. Got that out of there, and I thought, well, heck, I'll start trying to get the fuel tank drained out. So I got a bucket here. Actually unscrewed it here from the petcock, and then I was able to slip that off of the carburetor bowl down there. And still need to do a little research. This one's only got a single carb on it, and everything I've seen online from people, they have dual carbs. So I might have to do some looking into that. Not an expert by any means on these old British bikes, Nortons or anything. So we'll do some more looking into that. But in the meantime, I thought I'd try to get the fuel drained out of this thing. But it's a pretty musty smelling, smells like varnish. Oof, I can smell it from here. It's horrible. Yeah, it's pretty nasty down in there. A lot of rust. But I'm going to try to get this drained out. Tried to turn this by hand and I couldn't before. So I stuck up pliers on it just to get it turning a little. Let's see what we can do here. That almost runs into the bottom of the fuel tank there, but we got some gas running out of here. That fuel line is so stiff. Yeah, that's gas. It doesn't look like gas. I'm wondering if it's so clogged up with rust in the bottom of there that it's not hardly draining out. But I'll let that drain for a while. Like I said, I pulled one of the fuel lines off, and you can see this nasty gas just dripping out of here. It's I wish I wasn't colorblind. I'd tell you what color it was, but you can kind of see it. I'm guessing it's kind of orange from rust. Then I did pop this other side cover off, thinking that I drained the oil out of here, out of the oil tank. But I'm kind of thinking, I wonder if there should be a bolt in up there. That's weird. I wonder if there should be a bolt holding that top part of the tank in. And this bolt back here looks like it's broken. It looks like there's a rubber piece in there. Well, looks like I got some work to do. Well, we'll do some more searching here. I'm guessing there should be a bolt with a rubber piece in there holding that. Probably similar to this one that's broken out of here. Yeah. So learn some stuff about this bike. I'm gonna drain some of the fuel out of there. I'm thinking tomorrow or one of these nights I'll just pull this tank off and dump the gas out and just tip it upside down and dump the gas out. Hopefully that'll get most of it. It should. Yeah, look at all that rust. Plenty rusty. So, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I ended up pulling the whole petcock and fuel filter assembly right off there. It's pretty nasty looking. You can see it through the bag there. But pulled that right off the bottom of the gas tank, the fuel tank. And this is some nasty, nasty stuff. You can just see the rust and stuff floating in the bottom, and it smells horrible. So I think my whole objective for tonight is just to get this fuel tank drained and get this gas out of the garage. I'll come back again later. Get the other side kind of draining out. Hopefully the bucket doesn't fall on the floor and splatter all over. I think I got it balanced there pretty good. So we're gonna try taking it off of this side. Take the little jam nut off. This petcock actually turns pretty easy. Okay. This should be pretty lovely. Actually turns out of there pretty easy. Oh, spoke too soon, I guess. Here we go. Let's open and get it so you can see here. Oh yeah. You can just feel the rust in there too. You can see that petcock is pretty crusty there. Hopefully my bucket doesn't fill up before. Oh, I think we're pretty good. This side looks just as bad, if not worse, than the other side. There's a petcock on each side of the tank. So that makes it kind of interesting. Here, I'll show you what we're looking at here. Some pretty crusty fuel. You can see right here on the top of the bucket, like just the rust particles that are in there. I'm gonna put this rag up here. Let that soak everything up. Okay, you can see the nastiness that's in there. Oof. It smells pretty ripe too. You can see some of that crud that's in that bottom of that bucket there that came out of that tank. Came out in the garage again tonight. It's November 29th, 2022. Thought I'd do a little more work on the Norton. So here's the state it's at right now. I did check the oil tank before and it was mostly empty. I rigged this funnel up, pulled the drain plug out of the bottom of the oil reservoir there. And that's all I've gotten to drip out of there, that little puddle that's in the middle. So I wonder, hopefully this engine wasn't run without oil. I'm hoping that it was just drained out at another point in time. I got all the tins off the bike, or the bodywork here anyway. The side covers off both sides, and pulled 2 bolts off the front of the tank there, 1 on each side, and pulled the tank off. Bike looks pretty clean. Got a little rubbing and rusting there, but the frame looks pretty good. Little paint rubbed off in spots. I really thought I'd just try to clean this thing. Yeah, there's some more rust there. So I don't know what happened there. Kind of even got the frame chewed up just a little bit. So maybe we'll have to strip it down and repaint some of that stuff. I don't want to lose this label, some of these labels though. Maybe I'll just repaint these tubes that are visible when the seat is on the bike and everything. Actually, those might even be covered up by the seat. I'm not 100% sure. But I got the seat laying here underneath the Mustang, at least for now. And I got the tins here. So I got the tank here. The cover that goes on the battery side of the bike, the left-hand side of the bike, and then the one that goes over the oil reservoir over on the right-hand side of the bike. Like I said, the oil reservoir drain is actually one small plug on the bottom. Can kind of see it right here. Sorry, I can't hold the camera straight down here. Then a big plug kind of in the back of the crankcase here. So I pulled both of those. There's actually quite a bit of oil that came out of that front plug, maybe, I don't know, maybe half a quart, 10, 12 ounces, something like that. So at least there was some oil in it. It doesn't look horrible, but you can tell it's old and dirty. But that's it for tonight. Probably just leave it at that for now.